this meeting to order, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation following. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them the wisdom to know and the courage to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Roll call, please.
Goodar, Green. Here. LaFour.
Here.
Mistrovich.
Here.
Ricks.
Here.
Schultz.
Here.
Yar.
Here. Motion to accept, a motion to move to excuse Counselor Goodar from tonight's meeting due to being out of town. So moved.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? I believe he's out of town due to his work. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We go on to approval of minutes for the regular meeting of February 3rd. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support. Motion been made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion does pass. We go on to audience comments on any non-agenda items. Officer, you have anything to say tonight? Okay, we will pass up on the, being there is, and not to take anything away from the camera operator, but being there is no audience this evening, we will not go to the audience this evening after this on items for consideration. Adoption of agenda. City Council, Mr. City Manager, any changes?
No changes.
City Council, any changes? No. None. A motion to accept the agenda is presented to be in order.
So moved.
Support.
Motion made and supported. Any discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Do we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. There is no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. We move on to items for consideration, which we have two this evening. The first one being consideration of bid award ground maintenance. Mr. City Manager?
City Council is scheduled to consider awarding the grounds maintenance contract for 2014. The proposals were mailed to 8 companies, and another company picked one up from City Hall. The city just received one bid from D&E Landscaping, and this contract is for the same areas that we did in 2013, which included some additional areas that previously weren't contracted out. The low bidder was determined by using the submitted unit price times the actual number of times that Kevin's performed the work last year. Although we received only one bid, the comparison between last year's low bidder and this year's bidder, the total project for the whole summer, or total contract, would only be $279 more than what it was last year. Or also for the general fund, it'd be $642 less than what it was last year. Given those factors, we still feel that this is a good bid that we received, and our recommendation is to award it to D&E Landscaping.
Very good. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to award the ground maintenance contract 2014 GM1 to D&E Landscaping with the expenses charged to the appropriate line items of the general fund, major street fund, local street fund, TIFA fund, sanitary sewer fund, and water fund in the fiscal year 13-14 and fiscal year 14-15 budget with an estimated amount of $16,853.08.
Support.
Motion been made and supported. Discussion. If we acquire the new property, sounds like we're gonna acquire the new property, the new railroad property, will that fall under their,
With that, where it lies, and it actually kind of touches one of the areas they're already doing, we would probably do an amendment
okay,
to the
good.
contract. And
It'd be
include
nice
that.
to have that.
Yes.
More.
That touches the, what we call now the military
The little-
pavilion, their division in Maine.
Yeah.
Touches that property, so it'd be
Yeah.
a natural fit to have it done by the contractor.
Good, good. It'd be nice to see that cleaned up
Yes.
after all these years. Any other discussion? Being not, all in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Against? Motion does pass. Item number 2, consideration of changes to the non-affiliated personnel policies. Mr. City Manager?
Administration Administration is recommending making a change to the non-affiliated personnel policies now that the city has settled two of the union contracts, both patrol and Teamsters. Both those contracts included conditions of a one-time payment, and with the understanding that the employee would then begin paying 5% of the monthly healthcare premium. What we're recommending is that non-affiliated would receive a one-time payment of $1,000, and at that time, non-affiliated personnel would start to pay 5% of their healthcare premium. We'd also ask that the part-time employees that work in excess of 24 or 25 hours a week regularly would receive half that amount.
Okay, John, on the recommended motion here, I thought maybe it might be better if the motion read on the second line, payment of $1,000 for full-time non-affiliated,
Yes.
and then again after the $500 for non-seasonal, non-affiliated. Because a standalone motion without the background
Doesn't.
brief, you wouldn't know what,
Okay.
you would think that was everybody.
That-
And you use it towards the end of the motion, you say non-affiliated. Just wanted to make it very clear. Okay, is there a motion?
I move to approve the payment of, a one-time payment of $1,000 for full-time, non-affiliated employees and $500 for non-seasonal, non-affiliated part-time employees, regularly scheduled for more than 25 hours per week, with the language changed to the non-affiliated personnel policies regarding that non-affiliated employees pay 5% of their health care premiums.
Support?
What's been made and supported? Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
Go right ahead.
I appreciate that non-affiliated have continued to follow suit, and I think we've, for years, maintained, tried to maintain fairness between both our contract, our affiliated employees, our non-affiliated, and that, I think that's one of the things that maintained our healthy employee relations, is that the minimum of trust that occurs, that we're going back and forth and maintaining consistency.
Very good. Anybody else? Okay. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. We move on to city manager's comments, sir.
Just that I emailed out to council this morning a letter that was sent by the schools asking for, or inviting the public to a meeting on Wednesday, this Wednesday at the, I think, the high school media center for input into the superintendent search. And then also this Thursday afternoon and Friday, I'll be on vacation.
Very good. Move on to council comments. Jamie, we'll start with you tonight.
I have nothing, Mr. Mayor.
Jeff, new father?
Yes.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. Proud to announce the arrival of my daughter, Reagan Janet Yarrick, and I'm doing my part to increase the population of Richmond.
Very good. Keep it up.
I'll go back to work as soon as I can.
Just gotta figure out you get the 2.4, so.
Yeah. Dennis?
Just wanna congratulate the cheerleading team, placed second at the district, so they're on to regionals.
Oh.
And then the wrestling team, won their regionals, and they'll be at the state, finals hopefully this weekend, and going for another state championship
Very good.
for the 6th year in a row, so.
Have you heard anything about the bowling team?
Bowling team, I heard, there's, 3 of the girls, I think, are in the singles.
Okay.
Qualified for the state
Okay.
championship, so.
Okay, very good.
And I know the boys' basketball is coming up, first of March for districts, so.
Okay,
So,
okay.
Get people out to
Yeah,
support the schools.
absolutely. Michael?
Just want to thank everybody for the great attendance at the Winter and Ice Festival that went on. I was out of town most of the weekend, so I couldn't partake, but I heard a lot of really good comments, and I know we had real good participation, especially at the snowmobile races and all around town. So it was very, very good.
Jim?
Just like to congratulate Counselor Yarrick and his beautiful wife Sarah for what I'm waiting. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to watch your whole life change now, because it's going to be completely different.
It already has.
Yeah, when you walk by, smelling like wiping diapers.
We're talking about it.
They're coming in by the pallet right now.
Okay. Yes, it was a great weekend. Lots of snow, that's for sure. Historic snow weekend. Drag races put on by the Good Old Days Festival went off very, very well. We had 96 racers last year. This year, Saturday morning, 245 showed up. It was huge. So looking forward to next year and being prepared for the big numbers. Also, we talked about it at the last meeting, and I got to bring it up again. We've got the same people not complying with our snow ordinance, and I didn't see much change in the last 2 weeks. And it's funny how even some of our properties that aren't being used, those people get out and clean their properties, but we got property that's used every single day, in some cases 7 days a week, and they haven't touched their sidewalks. I don't understand, again, what people are thinking when they're forcing people to walk out into the street. There's huge safety concerns are in town. We have walking mailmen. I almost would like to deputize them and have them be able to ticket these people, because it's the same people every year, every snowstorm. And they just evidently don't want to come in compliance with our snow removal. And I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to bubble over. If we're not going to enforce the ordinance on those people that refuse to do it on a regular basis, then what good are our ordinances? And we, as a council, have had a problem with ordinance enforcement. And I believe we have to do something about it. Either we got to direct the administration that we want it, or we just leave it as is and I'll shut up. And you can, let it go. We attacked the grass issue, and we didn't have a grass issue this year. We need to attack the snow. The snow is even more of a safety concern in some of the certain locations where it's forcing people out into the street to walk. Or, we're a walkable community. And we're not during the winter because there's umpteen million people who are not cleaning their sidewalks. I don't understand it. Shame on them for not cleaning their sidewalks. If they've got a good reason for it, then call City Hall. Maybe we can find some kids to come over there, but I highly doubt it. I've watched it for years. It's the same handful of people that are not cleaning their sidewalks. And we got enough meat in that ordinance that we can make them come into compliance. So please, if you're one of them and you know who you are, just clean your sidewalk. With that, we'll go to the calendar. Today being the 17th of February. We have the EDC meeting is going to be on the 20th, this Thursday, excuse me, at 7 p.m. right here at City Hall. The library board will meet on the 24th, that's a week from tonight, at the library at 7 o'clock. TIFA will be meeting on the 26th at 7 o'clock right here at City Hall. And that's going to take us into March. The next regular scheduled city council meeting is March 3rd. The rec board will be meeting on the 4th. And daylight savings time starts on the 9th. Is there anything else that we need to add to the calendar? Being not, we'll move on. Is there any other business of the city council this evening? Being not, a motion to adjourn would be in order.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. There is no discussion on the motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Thank you two guys for being with us tonight.